What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video from the 10-7 MMA channel. And this video is all about Michael Chandler fighting Paddy Pimblett on April 12th. That is exactly 1 week away from today. And I cannot wait for this fight. But this video is not exactly about that fight. It's what may happen after this fight. So obviously, major stakes on the line, which is why this fight is so exciting. More specifically for Paddy Pimblett, because if he can get the victory, he's going to climb into the top 10 for sure, maybe even the top 5, depending on the way he gets the victory. Let's see. We don't know, but that's what makes it so exciting. But and by the way, I believe that Paddy Pimblett's going to get the job done. I think he's the younger guy. I think he's the hungrier guy. I hate to say it, even though Michael Chandler is a consummate professional, but I do think Paddy Pimblett is going to get the job done. He's going to fight intelligently. He's going to develop a great game plan. He's going to go in there and he's going to get it done. I truly believe it. It's his time. He's ready. He has matured over the years through all his ups and downs. I think Paddy's going to get it. But this is a fight. This is the UFC. Anything can happen. So in the case that Michael Chandler wins, I wanted to talk about what might happen. So in another interview, I didn't pull it up here, but in a recent interview, Michael Chandler was interviewed. I can't remember by who, but he talked about the fact that he's already working on his call-outs for after the fight in the event that he wins. Obviously, if he loses, he won't get that opportunity more than likely. But if he wins, he's going to get the opportunity to make a call-out. And he said he's already been working on who he's going to call out. So let's talk about some different options. I was trying to think about who he might be specifically setting his eyes on in terms of a call-out. Now, he has gone out there. He's fought for the title. He's kind of taken quite a few losses. I don't think even with the victory over Paddy Pimblett, even if it's a great victory, the best I think he would get in the lightweight division would likely be a #1 contenders fight. Maybe he just had one of those, I guess you could say, against Charles Oliveira, and he lost that fight. So I don't know, but it's possible depending on the victory. And he's got a very good position with the UFC brass. He's a fan favorite. He's an exciting style. So it's in the realm of possibility. So let's first talk about the potential that he's still going to really try and go up and get a title shot against Islam or whoever has the belt. Islam is now saying he might vacate. So whoever it will be, it will be. But let's say he gets a definitive victory, knocks him out. Who would he call out in that case? So in that case, I was trying to think about this. I think what would make a lot of sense would be Arman Tsarukyan potentially. That could be a fight that the UFC might want to make. Again, Arman is far from a title shot, at least one fight away, let's say, because of his back injury that happened when he was supposed to fight Islam. And so I think that could be an interesting one. Obviously, you can't call it Oliveira. That's in the past. He might call it Justin Gaethje. I could see that happening for a rematch. There's no way Dustin Poirier would fight him again. Dustin does not like him. I don't think he wants that fight. So it would be in the lightweight division. If he's still got his eyes set on the title shot, it's going to be Justin Gaethje or Arman Tsarukyan, one of those two. I'm guessing Justin Gaethje. Then there's the other possibility that he would try and fight somebody in the welterweight division. And the only person I can think of, if Mike's going to say, hey, I'm going to go the fun fight route, I'm going to go the just to try and get a big payday, maybe headline a UFC fight night, I could see him calling out Colby Covington, only because Colby is somebody that I'm sure he'd love to smash. He's got still kind of a big name in the sport, and I think he could get that fight because Colby's calling out only lightweights at this point. So I think that could be a fight that he could get if he just wants a moneymaker, a big show, and try and put Colby away for the fans, on behalf of the fans. I could see that. And then we have to consider the final option, which, if you look statistically, who has he called out like 99 times out of the last 100 call-outs? Talk about interviews, post-fight, whatever, all these opportunities, is Conor McGregor. And I know you're going to say that this is ridiculous that he would call out Conor McGregor one more time, but according to Bloody Elbow, and I don't know if this is accurate, and I'm going to show you why. According to Bloody Elbow, he's planning on calling out Conor again, regardless of the ridicule that he's received for this call-out. And if he does, that's fine. He should do what he believes is best for him. But I want to give my 2 cents as if he does do this again, which I actually do think he will, how I think he should do it this time to maximize his odds of actually getting that fight. Now, would that mean it goes from a 0.05% chance to a 0.1% chance, maybe doubling a really, really small percentage? Yeah, maybe, but it would still be, I think, his best shot possible at getting this. But let's just quickly rewind. I can't play the UFC post-fight interviews because UFC is crazy about copyright infringement whatever for even playing a clip of anything that they have out there. So I can't play that. But here's a clip from a WWE event with one of Michael Chandler's, one of his many call outs to Conor McGregor. Check this out. The reason why I'm laughing is because it's just like the way he does the call outs. It's very WWE. It's very cringy to me. It's not my style of being a fighter in terms of putting on an act, putting on this persona, this bravado that's all artificial. I'm not a WWE fan. I like real fighting. I like real sports, and I like to see the real personalities. That being said, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to watch Michael Chandler stuff, and I'm still a fan of his stuff because it's actually his fighting style, which is awesome, that I like to see. So he is a true fighter. He puts everything on the line. I want to see him fight again. So that's what I care about. But anyways, that's just a flashback to one of his many call-outs of Conor McGregor. Now, according to Happy Punch, I'm going to tell you why I don't believe this. Or actually, wait, no, let me back up here. According to Bloody Elbow, it says that Chandler plans McGregor call out despite Irishman's recent retirement admission. So they're claiming that despite the fact that Conor has kind of talked about this retirement based on him wanting to run for president of Ireland, and I think that was dropped on March 28th. They're saying, where he said that in a presser, they're saying that Chandler still is insisting that he's going to call him out anyways, which is kind of funny. But actually, if you just think statistically, I believe it because he's called him out after every fight to some extent when he has the opportunity. So why wouldn't he do it again? And he's even said, I'm going to do my job on April 12th and I'll call out Conor again. I get made fun of no matter what. I want to see him be a man of his word. If he comes back this year, I'm fighting him, Chandler said, which I can kind of understand. I know people, and anyways, who cares if people make fun of you? If you still think there's a chance for that and it's going to really boost your career, which I think it could. And he's already a well-known and well-liked fighter regardless. But if he wants to go for it, why not? But anyways, Happy Punch then said he's planning to call him out. And they posted this, but again, this is on March 27th. So you see this with some of these publications that they may not exactly get the facts totally perfectly correct because they're saying he's still going to call him out even though he retired. But this is on March 27th, and the presser, I believe, where he talked specifically about running for president, at least that's where most people are claiming that he said he's retiring, was on March 28th. Now, this is still after he went to the White House and was talking about how he wants to get involved for politics. So maybe he was still after that point saying, all right, I'm pretty sure he's going to run for president. He's probably not going to be fighting, but I'm still going to call him out. Could be the case. Anyways, point is I think just judging from his last few fights, the fact that he seems to be relentless in this pursuit, here's how I believe Michael Chandler should make the call out if he actually does do it, which, as I mentioned, statistically and from what he's saying, I think he's going to do it. Okay. Michael Chandler has been very respectful of Conor McGregor, and I actually think that was the right strategy initially because other people that have tried to disrespect him, Conor, if he feels offended, he won't fight you, and he doesn't need to fight you. He has the choice to fight who he wants to fight. And he went on Ultimate Fighter with Michael Chandler. He got some great exposure there, even though the season kind of tanked and wasn't that interesting or as interesting as people thought it would be. He still got some exposure there. They had the fight scheduled and it worked. They were supposed to fight in June of whenever that was now when Conor had the broken toe. Was that a year ago, I think? They were supposed to fight in June. And a couple weeks before the fight, whenever that was, I can't remember the exact timeline, Conor pulled out with a broken toe. Chandler continues to call him out and very gently has been nudging him, saying, I want you to be a man of your word. We signed on the dotted line. If you're fighting anybody, you got to fight me. Your return to the UFC goes through Nashville, Tennessee, whatever the lines are that he says. But overall, he's been very respectful. In my opinion, you tried that over and over. This is beating a dead horse, or as Einstein says, the definition of insanity. Keep trying the same thing and hoping for a different result. Now, obviously, there's a lot of factors at play, but may I suggest an alternative strategy? And I think if you've got any shot at pulling this guy back and getting him to fight, which I do think there's a chance that he would come back and explain why, this is the route I think you should take. I think you should dig a little bit deeper and embarrass him in the way, just calling it out and being like, dude, you are afraid of me. You know I would destroy you. You know you have no chance. You're washed up. You're done. And you're afraid to get in there and let somebody like me, who's ranked number 7th or whatever I am, smash you. And that's what I will do. It won't even be close. Whatever, however he wants to put it out there. But I'm saying go in on him. You don't have to get so personal if you don't want to go drudge up some of his drug allegations or some of these other things. You don't have to get so personal if that's not your style. I understand. But I say call him out and insult him, attack his ego, because we know Conor's got a massive ego. Now, why do I think there is a small chance that this could actually work? Well, the reason why Conor McGregor is supposedly retiring is because he plans on a run for president. Now, if you listen to a lot of folks in Ireland or interviews of folks in Ireland, a lot of people have turned against Conor McGregor. While he can talk passionately about these issues, really the only thing I've ever heard him talk about in terms of politics is the immigration issues in Ireland. I highly doubt he has a strong knowledge base on any of the other issues. Does anybody in that country take him seriously as a real presidential candidate? I don't think so. So as things kind of get set in motion, if he's truly running, I imagine he's going to have to get nominated by a party, or maybe he'll run independently. I don't really know how Irish politics work, but my point is I think that his chances are much slimmer of winning that race than we are led to believe. So I could see a world where over the summer, as he starts to get things in motion, he starts to realize the expenditures, the people that are actually behind him, the lack of support that he has. This is just a theory, but like I could see him coming in and being like, this is not for me. I'm going to help Ireland in different ways. I'll be a voice for the people, but it's just not realistic to run for president. And in that instance, I could see him once again being reinvigorated to come back and fight, especially if Chandler is questioning his heart and his abilities at this point. Call him out. That's what I say. And what is he going to do? Then he's going to choose not to fight you, which is probably already seeming like that's what's going to happen. But at least this way now, if he tries to turn away or run or utilize his what's it called, the sunset clause, and just go straight to BKFC. Now you've called him out, you've put him on blast, and might even get the fans going against him, nudging him to come back into the UFC and fight you in the octagon before he steps away finally permanently and rides off into the sunset. That's what I say you should do. So anyways, coming back to the call-outs, that's the summary. I think if he calls out somebody realistic in the lightweight division, it's either going to be Justin Gaethje, which that's who I'm leaning towards, or Arman Tsarukyan. If he's doing a fun fight at welterweight, I think we could see him calling out Colby Covington. But whoever he calls out, whether it's somebody in the lightweight, somebody in the welterweight, I think he's going to stack on the call out to also call out Conor McGregor. And this is the way that I think he should do it. And of course, this all depends on him winning, which, as I mentioned at the beginning, I think he's going to lose. So this is a many things have to go right for all these things to happen. But let's see if I'm right. If he does come out victorious, mark my word, he's going to call out Conor, and I hope he does it in the manner in which I'm suggesting. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys think I'm right, or do you guys think I'm crazy? Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to click that like button if you like this video. Make sure to click subscribe if you want to see more from the 10-7 MMA channel. Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.